How did? Explore the history of the things we see and use that we take for granted, as well as mysterious occurrences that have happened in our world. How did the ballpoint pen come to be? A writing instrument you use probably every day and don't even think about it. Well, it's time we explore the origin and history of this communication tool that's rarely given a second thought. But it truly has an interesting story. Let's explore. The first name you always see when you research the inventor of the ballpoint pen is Laszlo Biro. And while it is true that he's the inventor of the modern ballpoint pen, another man paved the way. His name, John J. Loud, a leather tanner and inventor, born on November 2, 1844. In his leather business, he often had to mark up leather to know where to cut it. A pencil couldn't do the job, and a fountain pen was just too messy. This challenge got him thinking, and through trial and error, he created a writing tool with a small rotating metal ball that was held in place by a socket. On October 30th, 1888, Loud obtained a patent, which was the first patent for the ballpoint pen. While his ballpoint pen was great for writing on leather, it was far too rough for paper. This limited the marketability of the pen, and the patent eventually lapsed, making way for more usable iterations. It would take many more years, and even more patents, before the modern-day ballpoint pen came to market. Enter Hungarian-born Laszlo Biro and his brother, György. Much like Loud, Biro, out of frustration, created his version of the ballpoint pen. He was a newspaper editor who needed a pen with ink that dried quickly and didn't smudge. While working at the newspaper, he realized that the ink used on newsprint dried quickly and was generally smudge-free. He then took that idea to his chemist brother, György, in hopes of creating something that would work for him. The key to their success was a combination of a thick, sticky, often called viscous ink, and a tiny ball bearing. In simple terms, this ball and socket mechanism allows the ball to roll around easily on paper while sealing the ink from the air so it doesn't dry out. It was introduced in 1931 at the Budapest International Fair, and the Biro brothers filed for patents in France and Britain 7 years later on June 15, 1938. The growth continued when the brothers and their friend, Juan Jorge Mene, opened the Biro Pens of Argentina factory in Buenos Aires. They filed for an Argentinian patent in 1943 and named their pen the Birome, a blending of the sounds of their names, Biro and Mene. Pens are called Biromes to this day in Argentina. After World War II, the race was on to bring the modern ballpoint pen to the United States. Eversharp, the biggest pen and pencil maker in the world, acquired the North and Central American rights to the ballpoint pen for $500,000 and began working on their version. In the meantime, however, Milton Reynolds was working on his version of the ballpoint pen that skirted the patent. His allowed the ink to flow by gravity and not by the patented capillary action. Although Reynolds was aware that the gravity feed was prone to leaking, he rushed the pen into production anyway. On October 29, 1945, the Reynolds rocket was introduced at Gimbel's. One pen sold for $12.50, which would be over $218 in 2024. The Reynolds rocket was heralded a success with thousands sold in that first week. Eventually, Marcel Bisch brought the Birome to the US. He licensed the ballpoint pen designs from Biro and created the Bic Company in 1953. The company initially struggled, but enjoyed much success after launching the "Writes the First Time, Every Time" advertising campaign in the 1960s. So next time you pick up that pen, think of all the time and effort it took to give you that smooth writing instrument.